Hey, good morning and welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls and I'm your host. And today I have internationally famous pop star. This woman is incredible. She could sing the phone book and it would sound amazing. So, listen, I have Marleah JoAnn on today. You guys are not going to want to miss this. And do me a favor right now and share this out to all of your friends and family and everybody you know. And we will see you in just a minute. And I'll bring Marleah on. Hang tight. Hey, we are back. Let me bring Marleah JoAnn on. Marleah, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you for having me.
So grateful to have you here. And by the way, I texted my mother-in-law last night and I said, hey, that chick you hooked me up with on the beach right in front of my wife. I'm kidding. I said, hey, that girl is coming on the show tomorrow. So she's like, oh, tell her I said hi.
Oh
She might even be watching. You never know. But
oh my gosh. That
she just
wasn't that an experience to just I was gonna go home actually that morning,
yeah.
pretty early, and I was like, I'll do some pictures for promotion. And I just asked somebody on the beach to take them, and then I saw your mother-in-law with her, it was like a beer can fishing rod, and I was like, that lady's awesome. She should be in the pictures. And she was like, what were you doing over there? And I was like, just being weird, taking pictures. And she was like, you have to meet my son-in-law.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. But I met your
So
whole family,
I
and
know you did. You
so
did.
cool.
And so Marleah and I met on the beach in Destin, Florida. She was there filming and taking pictures and doing all kinds of cool stuff. And my mother-in-law saw you, brought you over to me and said, hey, I want you to meet this. And I'm thinking, why are you? And then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. But so Marleah, I started the show about a little over 4 years ago, and it was really to help people have a breakthrough in life. And you've accomplished some pretty cool things thus far in your journey. And I'm sure along the way you've gotten stuck a time or two.
Still
And
stuck sometimes.
yeah, right. So let's start with you talking about like where you were born and raised, where it all started for you.
So I was actually born in Buffalo, and then my parents moved to Chicago. They don't like snow, they don't like cold, but that's just how it went. Um, and I grew up around the suburbs, western suburbs of Chicago, and then I moved downtown for a good amount of time,
Wow.
to go to music school at Columbia, and then I went to massage school right after in the same South Loop areas. But I lived downtown for probably about 12 years, just moved around. And Chicago, when I was doing music the whole time, but it's very cover band oriented.
Yeah.
Um, so I was singing 5 nights a week, but it was all cover music, and I wanted to do my own original music. So that's what brought me to Nashville about 2013. So,
Wow. So you live in Nashville now,
yes,
in the suburbs of Nashville, probably.
Franklin.
So grow so I'm from Ohio, so I'm very familiar with snow and I hate it. But talk about growing up. What was the as a kid, what inspired you to get into music? And I can see where you decided to do massage too, because those are so related. I'm kidding. They're not. Um, but, but like
They're
what
based off of frequency and energy. So
yeah, right, right. So talk about what inspired you. I always feel like there's something in our childhood that kind of pushes us, or an event, a person, a thing that kind of inspires us to do what we do as adults.
well, my mom sings really
Well, there you
well.
have it.
Her, so I don't know if this is what inspired me. I really, my first live performance, I was about 4 years old, and
Wow.
I felt comfortable doing it, and it kept going. But my mom's second cousin, Peppino de Capra, he's an Italian pop singer,
Oh,
and I've
wow.
never met him. I don't know him, but he's in the family. So it's kind of just, my mom was very musical. Um, we have a lot of people on her side of the family that can sing well and play
Wow.
music. Yeah.
So it's
So
kind of in your blood.
yeah, and there have been times where I'm like, gosh, I wish I didn't feel the need. That's how I am. I'll go into my cave and I wish I didn't feel the need to do this. Not for other people, but even for myself. Sometimes it's been like that. So
Really?
yeah.
Because it's not easy.
It's not, but I have to do it. It's almost like, well, I need to do this to feel whole.
Wow. I love that.
It's true.
I love that.
And there's people who create all the time, and then there's people who take in that creative experience. And I think all people they either do both, or you have to do one of those, I think,
Yeah.
as a human
Right.
being. But
Wow.
so
So you started performing at 4?
my first song that I ever sang live was La Bamba in Spanish at
Do
4
you
years
speak
old.
Spanish?
No.
Oh,
I can only sing that song, and I can sing some Selena songs in Spanish, and that's
wow.
it.
So at 4 years old, and so
It's so
growing,
weird to think about that I remember everything about that, but then there's, last year I don't even remember what I did.
right, right. Well, it sounds like it was a pivotal moment for you in life.
It was the first and it was in Spanish, so yeah, it was just an elementary school talent show, preschool talent show. So yeah.
So you, as you as you did, like you started on this journey obviously at a very young age, and you started to, I mean, did you perform a lot as a kid? Like, were you on stages singing and performing?
Yes, it's not like I was on a tour bus as a kid, or I'm not even doing that right now. I'm doing
Right.
shows here and there around town, but it was more always in plays, always in musicals, always doing the town talent show, always signing up for anything that would give me recognition as a singer or performer. So it wasn't until, I'd say, after high school that I started doing more professional gigs. And because Columbia is right in the middle of, right in the loop of Chicago South Loop, it was very easy while I was in school to find actual gigs, paid gigs to perform at, venues to perform at. So, but again, it was mostly cover band gigs. So I left that to do original music in Nashville. And it's so different in Chicago. You will rehearse, even if it's original music, you'll do like 5 rehearsals. And then the performance, you're still like, oh, well, we could have done that better. Here, you don't even rehearse sometimes.
Wow.
You just do the show here, and the musicians are amazing here, and they want to help people. But they'll just learn your music, and then you go on. So it's a totally different animal here when it comes to performing and the whole process that goes with it.
So when you like, you said you went to college for a while, or did you graduate from, you went to Columbia?
Yes, I went to Columbia in Chicago. So a
Okay.
lot of film students go there. It's very music and art based.
Yeah.
So it's not a conservatory, but I finished in 6 years. So I did a bachelor's in music, but I had a minor in theater. So I'm glad that I went. I met a lot of amazing people. I met a lot of people that I played gigs with after college in Chicago. And then when I got more into the cover band scene, that's when I met my ex, and I moved to Nashville because I was with him, and we were actually working on my first album at that time. So it's called
Wow.
Without You. It was released 2018, but we were writing in Chicago, and then we finished the album after he moved to Nashville, and then I moved to Nashville. So
And your first album is all cover songs? I'm
no,
kidding.
I should do that though.
Yeah, right.
It would be all Kate Bush songs, maybe the Pretenders, Chrissy Hine, Stevie
Oh,
Nicks.
that's funny. So, Debbie is a good friend of mine. She's like, where can we hear her sing? Maybe now. Maybe I'll convince her to sing here in a minute.
I could sing Happy Belated Birthday to you right now.
No, that's
right?
all right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive it's all good. But I do, and thank you for that. But I want to talk about, because I'm sure that in music school,
Yes.
they talk about a lot of music theory. They talk about the ranges. They talk about, they teach you all that stuff.
Mhm.
But
Everything like that.
do they teach you
Music business?
that's what I was getting. I'm kind of, yeah. Do they teach you
No.
how?
And that's like, how like Western medicine will separate emotional energy that affects your cells in a toxic way is the same as like physical trauma, right? So we separate those.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing with and it might be different now. They might have, gotten it together and said, we just need, if you're going to go for the artistry, you have to learn the business. We learned some of that, but that's a separate major. So in a way, I've thought about that. I said, man, like I should have learned all of the music business. I should have studied that, maybe even production, because now there's so many badass people with home studios that can produce everything on their own, save money. I'm lucky that I have an amazing producer. His name is Salzonana. He's been in the business, man, for way longer than I've been, and he's from New York City. He's an artist himself. He has like 20 albums or more under him. He's fantastic. If anybody wants to hear a good artist, check Salzonana out. But he produces everything. He does all of his music.
We're here to promote you, not him.
Okay, well, I'll stop.
I'm kidding.
Sorry, Saul.
I'm kidding. So no, go ahead.
I know. So he's my producer. I've known him, his wife, his kid for about 10 years. He's fantastic. He will tell me, no, let's do this instead. But he'll be like, that's a great idea. Like, he's very easy to work with. And he's kind of a prog rock guy. He is. So my music's not country. It's kind of alternative groove, rock, that sort of kind of blend, even pop, I'd say, but kind of a fusion of sound. And he gets that. So,
Yeah.
But going back to that question, learning how to produce, learning how to use a home studio. But at that time, not a lot of people just had actual recording studios. I mean,
Right.
I'm going to be 40. So I graduated 2006. So,
But they don't teach you, do they? I guess I should ask the question. Do they
yeah.
teach you how to market yourself? How to, I mean, does everybody have to start at the doing gigs in the bars level?
No.
No.
No, they don't. Like, I think that depends on kind of who you know, how long you've been marketing yourself in the right way, even before you become an
Yeah.
adult, or, that kind of thing, and what city you're in too. I
Yeah.
think just depends on the industry that exists.
Why? But I've heard your music. There's not really a country flair to your music.
No.
Why? One of my best friends and now and we're partnered in some stuff together is Craig Duswalt. He toured the world with Guns N' Roses and Air Supply.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, him and I are doing a live stream at 1:00 today. But
Awesome.
he talked about, he was talking at the conference I was just at with him that, like Guns N' Roses, they're huge, right? And
Yes,
but they
I do know them.
you've heard of them.
I like
But
them.
they had to, like, they played bars and stuff all around LA.
Mhm.
He said they hung flyers out on telephone poles and like, and then eventually they got a break. I don't know. They made it, right.
Right.
But talk about that part of the business, because it's not, I don't know how you get a break. How do you get a break? How do you break into this industry and become a superstar? Because you're very talented.
Thank you. When I said being stuck, that's what I get stuck on. I'm stuck on that right now. I'm learning. I am so open to being like, I don't know what to do. Help me, And
Yeah.
that, I used to be really prideful. I hate asking for help. I want to do everything on my own. It took me, I've known Saul for 10 years. It took me 2 months to call him and be like, hey, can you help me figure out what my like alignment of things that I need to do? And he was like, sure. And I was like, oh my God, like I took that long to do this. And he was so helpful. And that's why I have my, my two singles released now, because my last album, I wrote those songs with my ex. He's a good guy, nothing bad. We're obviously not together anymore, ex, but he I had somebody collaborating with me, right? And now it's been about 3 years and I was like, what am I going to do? Can I do this on my own? Can I like write songs on my own and get my brand together the way I want it? And Saul really helped. I had that confidence, but I needed a team. Like, you need a team. You need a good team around you that you trust and that knows you and that knows, okay, this person is trying to help themselves. Let's come up with a plan.
Right.
So,
right.
But it's different nowadays with marketing yourself, like the grassroots marketing of like putting flyers up and running around town and talking to people at clubs. Like maybe people do, but maybe people do that. It's just a lot of the marketing that I've been doing now has been phone calls with people I've met online, or somebody that my producer knew, or somebody that lived in Nashville that saw my Instagram page. It's so different now. I wish it was, I'm more old fashioned, but I'm figuring it out.
It sounds like quite the journey. So when you moved to Nashville, where, like, do you remember the very first place you performed in Nashville?
So the very first performance was actually I was background singing for another artist.
Okay.
She's fantastic. She's not performing as much anymore, but her name is Donica Knight.
I thought you were going to say Shania Twain or something.
But she's incredible. So I was background singing with her, and that was while I was still getting in the midst of getting my first album done. And she's different. I mean, she's more of a Southern rock, Americana Southern rock. I wouldn't say country, but a killer singer, performer, and a wonderful person. So that's what I was doing when I first moved here. And then I was just playing a lot of open mics, playing shows, smaller acoustic shows when I first moved to Nashville. And then my album release for Without You, 2018, was at 3rd and Lindsley, which is downtown.
Wow.
So that was like my first really big performance with my own original music. So that was my...
So the album titled Without You is and you did that with your ex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there any irony in that?
Well, that is a great question. So Without You is actually about losing my dad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm not smiling about that, but I'm smiling because I'm just on camera. Yeah. So that song was about him passing away. He was sick. And I was so close to my dad. He was so supportive when it came to me, going into the arts. And I didn't want it to be a somber, low energy song. It's pretty high energy. And that's the kind of music I like.
Wow.
And he was a high energy person. He had a lot of charisma. He was a good public speaker, just really funny without trying to be kind of person. So that song's about him. Yeah.
Wow. How many tracks are on that album? I guess they're still called albums, right?
8.
I
think.
Wow. He said, I think. Wow. So talk about some of the, I think about, like, here you are cutting your own album. You're doing backup singing for this woman. Did you want to trip her and make her fall off stage?
No,
I'm kidding. But I mean, like, I want you to talk about some of the challenges you've faced with this, where you're like, this is my passion. This is my calling. This is my soul. But my God, this is difficult. And here are some of the challenges. Like, you get to Nashville, like, are you just rolling in dough? You live in Nashville. It's got to be, you're a music
challenges.
artist.
So, like I said, my biggest recent challenge has been, within the past 3-4 years, has been doing this on my own, getting into the mindset of being like, screw this. I'm gonna contact the people I need to contact, find the people I need to find. That's been the biggest challenge in the past 3 years. Coming here it's intimidating because everyone, this is music. This is like Music City for the whole, internationally.
Right.
And it's not just country at all. It's everything. And everyone is amazing, which is great. I mean, I'm never going to feel like I have to copy somebody or do this or fit into a trend. When I write my music, it's pretty organic. I'll hear something and I'll have to record it, or I never really plan to sit down to write, if that makes sense, especially now.
Yeah.
So it was just finding the confidence to ask for help and find the right people, especially after my breakup, being able to feel emotionally capable of writing on my own, and also bringing in the people that I needed to bring in. Yeah.
Right. So what, I guess along your journey, have you met some famous musicians that have made it?
Here I know of some people. Yeah. My producer, he plays in Adrian Belews band.
Okay.
I know of a singer, her name is Maggie Rose, and she's huge now in town, and she's fantastic. I mean, in Nashville, she's famous, and she tours all around nationally. So there's a lot of, the thing about Nashville is there's a lot of artists that know a lot of famous people that are doing really well in town, but they're not like famous, but they're known by those artists, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of like anything trying to think back to when I first moved here, because when I first moved here, my dad got sick a year after I moved here. So I was going to move back to Chicago.
Wow.
So it's been challenging the whole time since I've been here, for me personally in my life with different people and relationships.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely the right decision for me to move here.
Wow.
No matter what, it was the right thing to do. And so the first 2 years I lived here, I was going back and forth, back to Chicago, back here, working during the day, writing music, finishing my album, doing gigs here and there. And so, but it's what it is, you know. Now go ahead.
Have you been to the Loveless Cafe?
Yes.
So Glenn, my buddy Glenn, Glenn's picture is hanging in the Loveless Cafe.
I have to go back there. It's been such a long time.
It's on the left towards the bottom, right when you walk through the second set of doors. But anyway, it's so funny because I'm like, dude, we can get a table pretty quick, and he's like, I don't know, and I go, you're on the wall, bro, and he's like, I do it isn't gonna happen.
Just cut in line.
They don't care. They really don't care. We waited 45 minutes. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But anyway, you know, when I guess if you were to take a magic wand and wave it over your life right now, who would you want to meet? where would you want this to go?
Well, I would love to, if I could do that, I would take opening for Joan Osborne. She still tours. She's one of my favorite artists. Whenever I do original gigs, I'll usually cover one of her songs. And I think she is just one of the best singers, one of the best songwriters I've ever known. And I just want to open for somebody that I really have dug into their music. They're an influence to me. And that's a lot of people that are still touring, but they've been in the business for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
Or just opening for somebody that's really big in town, that has this kind of the same vibe as me, but that's maybe on a label already, so they're touring a lot. That would be something that I would really be interested in.
Yeah.
But really, I just want to live on the beach. And
Don't we all?
but I'm serious. So what I really want to do in 2 years is buy one of those converted school buses. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And tour on that. And then I wouldn't have to pay for Airbnbs, hotels. I could plan tours, bring the band with me on the bus.
Nice.
Yeah, that's honestly what I want to do.
Do you have a band?
I don't have my own band. I hire musicians that I know, and that, like, the last show that I did, um, that band plays there a lot, and they asked to showcase me. So they learned my songs, and
Wow.
the guitar player I know, he's really good. He has a studio in town too. So he plays in a lot of studios. He plays live a lot, but he asked me to perform with them. So a lot of times that happens. Like, people will add you to their bills,
Yeah.
at certain venues and shows and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Craig that I was talking about from GNR, that was with, well, he was with Air Supply as well for 7 years, I think. But his son plays in a band. He's a drummer. They play like serious heavy metal.
Sweet.
In fact, one of the guys from Metallica, his kid and Craig's kid play in the same band or something. Like they played Lollapalooza and recently, so I know a lot of people in that business, and it's not an easy business. It's just
No.
not. And that leads me to it's kind of a rhetorical question, and Debbie asked it, and I was planning to ask it, but do you absolutely love what you do in the music business?
I love, my favorite thing to do is recording my songs in the studio.
Yeah.
I do love performing. I'm trying to right now really build, like, I have 2 music videos coming out, or one that already came out and one that I'm going to be releasing soon.
What are
So
the
I'm really
titles?
trying to build, would you say?
What are the titles?
Deeper is the last one that's already out on YouTube, on my channel, Marleah JoAnn. And
Everybody go subscribe to her YouTube channel, by the way.
please click that button.
She needs some
I'll
subscribers.
subscribe to your page as well.
You're like the greatest hidden secret, I think, in Nashville. But
I don't know. And I'm not like people know my music. I have friends in town that are doing way more than me. I'm not like huge, but I love the music that I write. It's authentic to me. And I'm never trying to write a song to impress somebody or fit into a certain trend of what songs are supposed to sound like or artists are supposed to sound like. It's just what comes out of me, and I want it to move people, and I want them to connect with it. And so once I release my next 2 songs that I wrote, I have some booking contacts from a friend, and I want to start building a tour, gradually building a tour that I could do maybe Friday through Sunday is what I'm planning on, around the Nashville area.
I mean, what about touring outside of the Nashville area?
That could happen too. Yep.
So you're open.
Yeah.
So what do you think in the music business? What do you think is holding most people back from really making it?
Just in general, I think either not knowing how to find the right people to build a team. Because if I didn't have the group of people around me helping me, I wouldn't be doing any of this. I think that it's fine being able to find the right people, being able to build skills that you're lacking on. Like, I'm not the best guitar player, and that's fine with me, but I write my songs with guitar, so that's my tool. So it's just, knowing what you need to build more, knowing what you need to improve on, and then knowing who you need to talk to and how to do that. And I feel like there's so many talented people that don't, especially I'm introverted, so that's hard to go out there. And I mean, you have to go out there in an extroverted way, and then you have to know how to like talk in a different way to build your team. And I think that that's what holds people back. And then some people, I think, feel like they have to sound a certain way to fit in, especially if it's mostly pop. It has to be in like a realm of, is this going to sell? And you're not really, I think a lot of songwriters, and I'm not, you know, I have a lot to learn with everything too. So I never want to sound like I know exactly what I'm talking about, but I really do think that there's a lot of artists that they're like, well, I need this song to sell. I'm a songwriter. Right. You're selling a brand. You have to be a business. You have to see yourself as a business and a brand. You're selling feelings to people, really, when you write songs. It has to connect in a way that can't really be described. You're selling feelings to people. You're selling a feeling and a vibe. Even if that's unfortunate, it's just what it is. And I think some people don't want to go there, and they don't want to do the extra things you have to do with marketing, or they're just scared of doing it wrong, screwing up, not having everybody like what they're doing, which obviously that's never going to happen. There's going to be people that don't like you for whatever reason. So,
you know, Glenn, my buddy Glenn, I hate to keep referencing him, but I'm going to. He's one.
I'm going to mention Saul again.
Yeah. Well, Glenn is one of the wisest people I know, and he's had a massive career as an artist. And you know, he talks a lot about when he went to Hollywood, when he went to Los Angeles, he didn't go there to pursue a career as an actor. He went to have a career as an actor. And he says, and he says that that's the number one thing that he sees in artists that are, you know, that they're, oh, I'm going to pursue my career as a musician or an artist or an actor or whatever, instead of having that career and being confident in it and knowing that, having that knowingness. And I remember watching you on the beach, getting pictures and all of that. And you are just, your presence is just like, I own this beach. like,
well, you know, the funny thing is my name is Mar.
Right.
And Miramar Beach. So I was like, I think I kind of own Miramar Beach. I think that's right. To own it someday. Yeah. So.
But I think that, you know, and Debbie wants to know what's the next video title coming out.
It's called Seduction Line. My videographer, he's awesome. So he's been doing my videos. He's also a musician, but he's just quiet about that, but he loves doing film videography. So that's what I'm talking about, having a team. And these people I've built, so the video is called Seduction Line, and the single is already released on Spotify.
It's on Spotify. That's right.
Yes. But having that team, people that like, for me, I need to have a team around me where I would be friends with that person.
Right.
I like that person. I trust the people that I'm working with. So
right.
You have to build that.
So do you have a desire to be an internationally known name and brand and superstar? Where do you want this to go?
I just want to do shows in my kitchen for the people living in my apartment.
Right. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, for me, really honest, like that would be amazing, and I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I would be happy doing tours around Nashville, around the Alabama area, Florida, especially because I love going there. It could start there very soon, and if it stayed there for a while, I would be grateful and happy with that.
What do you?
I'm not my music's it's not superstar pop music.
No.
Right, the genre of it, but
right. I mean, right. I get that. My oldest daughter is literally obsessed with Ariana Grande. I mean, obsessed.
She's fantastic, though.
She's great.
She's an amazing singer and performer.
What do you think? What took her there? What got her to that level?
She's definitely very talented.
Yes. I mean, I don't listen to her music, but nor would I, and it's not because I don't like her. It's just not my.
Well, she was, and I could be wrong about this, but was she doing Disney?
Yeah, I think so.
As a kid. Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Getting into if you have as a child, if you're in the industry pretty young, that's a good push ahead of other people. Not that I'm not competing with other people. I'm always competing with myself to do better. But I think being in the industry, whether it's film, music, from a young age, makes a huge difference.
Sure.
Especially if you have actual talent. She's very naturally talented. So.
Yeah. Well, her manager watches this show, so I'm kidding. Maybe, I don't know. So, is this has to be a relative?
Nickelodeon. Oh, there's my sister. Hi, Jenna.
Hi, Jenna. Welcome to Breakthrough Walls. So
she goes, she was doing Nickelodeon.
Wrong. Yeah, that's just a notch below Disney. So, I mean, if you had the microphone right now to say you had the attention of everybody on planet Earth right now, all at the same time, and they had to listen, what would you say to everybody about what you want to accomplish while you're here on planet Earth? What would you want them to know about you? This is called dead air, folks.
It is. Let me get some water and I'll get back to you.
She said, let me. Lily Winwood did vocals for you.
Yes. So I'll get back to that intense question in a second. So you asked me, knowing, and I just thought of this, you asked me about knowing anybody, meeting anybody famous. Well, my ex toured with Steve Winwood. He's local to here.
Steve Winwood is
from England, but he lives in Nashville too. And his daughter sang background vocals on my Without You album.
Wow.
She's incredibly good. She's so good. But I got to meet her dad because my ex was touring with her and she was opening for her dad.
Wow.
That was an awesome experience. And he's a super, super nice person too. Just,
yeah.
He was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Steve." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I know.
Yeah. Let's go have a beer, Steve.
I'm Lily's dad. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Right.
Yeah. So that was awesome. A really cool experience. So the question about what I would want people to know about me.
Right. Yeah. I
Like
what,
in relation to my music
to
or
your
just
music.
anything?
Yeah. Your existence here on planet Earth. I mean, let me reframe it.
That's a
Or
great.
rephrase it. You know, we're all here to make a difference in other people's lives. I
Mhm.
believe that we're here to make a
Absolutely.
positive impact in other people's lives. What, on the day that you're promoted, meaning you're going to the other side, I mean, what do you want? What legacy do you want to leave on this planet? What do you want people to experience from Marleah? What is it you want to leave them with? What's your legacy?
Well, I want them to, like I said, I want my songs to, I want people to connect with the feelings that I put out through my music, and I want them to be moved by that and impacted. And if there's anything that they're going through in life, um, they, you know, knowing that the songs that I write are very intimate, based off of personal experiences that I've
Sure.
been through, and authentic experiences that I've been through. And that's my way of communicating authentically, is through my music.
That's awesome.
And I want to reach more than the people that I want to reach more than the people that I just happen to know in my life, if that makes sense. So,
Sure.
um,
Are you willing to sing a few bars for us today?
yeah.
Not happy birthday.
Happy. I'm just kidding. I'll stop.
Oh, she's leaving. She's like, I'm out.
No, I'm grabbing.
Oh, you have a guitar. Look at
This is
this.
just.
Wow, here we go. Jay Fox.
So we'll see.
There's somebody very famous. Jay Fox was on ABC Radio and
Hey,
Westwood
Jay.
One for 50 years. He is a
Wow.
very, very good friend of mine, and he knows a lot of people that could give you a break. So this is an audition now for
I
you now,
know.
Marleah.
So we'll
I'm
see.
giving you full screen layout, by the way.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So this song is called Seduction Line. I just released it, my most recent release. You can check it out on Spotify. If you go to my Instagram, my website now is just Linktree Marleah JoAnn. So here it is. You with your mass seduction feels like I'm up for auction. What was I gonna do? Couldn't get over you. The fruit was unwrapping. Thieves don't break into empty houses. I made it too easy. Now you don't want me. Let me out, baby. I don't wanna be on your seduction line, and I've done it 8,000 times with you. You never had to climb a mountain. Easing with you was never any option. I made it too easy. Now you don't want me. Let me out, baby. hands up for auction. What was I gonna do? Couldn't get over you. Let me out, baby, I wanna be on your seduction line, and I've done it 8,000 times. Let me out, baby, I wanna be on your seduction line, and I've done it 8,000 times with you. With you. With you.
Wow. That was beautiful.
Like
Wow.
I said, I'm trying to learn more guitar, but yeah, so
Wow. That was absolutely beautiful.
thank
Jay
you.
Fox said, let's talk.
Thanks, Jay.
That is so awesome. Marleah, you are phenomenal. Your energy, you're beautiful. Your heart is pure. You're just I love everything about you. My wife, who you met, Jill,
Hi,
she's
Jill.
on here. So wow, that was that was great. What a can you do an I'm kidding. I was gonna say, can you do an but no, I'm kidding. That is so beautiful. Wow. Wow, wow,
Thank
wow.
you.
So Marleah, I think I'm gonna make a prediction. Somebody called me the kingmaker once. Like I'm gonna predict that you are going to the top. That's my prediction for you.
You know what? That's what I'm gonna believe as well. And I'm not going to like you said, my heart is pure. I want to help other people. I know when somebody actually wants to help me, and I'm just going to keep doing what I need to do. And yeah, so
Look, my
what?
Abigail, who you met as well, my little girl, said,
Hi,
"Wow,
Abby.
she's like a Carrie Underwood."
Oh, how sweet.
That's so
Well, I love
nice.
Carrie Underwood, so thank you.
So do I, yeah. So Marleah, thank you for coming on today and sharing so much of your soul and your spirit with us and your beautiful energy. Your sister's on here. She loves everything happening. Now, does Jenna live in Nashville too, or is
So
she?
I was just gonna say my sister, she lives in Chicago.
Oh,
She's actually an incredible singer as well. I'm always like, can't you just move to Nashville and you can do my background vocals and write songs with me? And but she's really funny, beautiful, hilarious. She's done comedy. She's an amazing actress.
wow.
She's been in certain commercials. She's been in a lot of plays. She's a very good writer, a very good actor, but also
Wow.
an amazing singer. But
Wow.
she loves to do the acting thing. She's incredible. So she wants to actually move at some point soon to. She's 8 years younger than me. She wants to move to California.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
We're acting. Yeah. It's kind of all moving towards Atlanta now. A lot of the acting
Which
stuff.
is only 4 hours away. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of film. So she
Is
could
that
consider that. She could consider
nudge,
that too if
nudge?
she wants to spend a little less money, but I don't know. Maybe it's super
Yeah.
expensive there too.
Yeah. Well, I am blown away by you, and you're incredible. So
Thank you.
just thank you for coming on and sharing your story and your life and your music and your talent. And if there's anything that I can do to help you in any way, I think I will.
Thank you.
This has been absolutely incredible. And that song is just gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Thank you.
so beautiful. Um, yeah, and Jay just said Atlanta is a lot. And it is. Yeah, I just got back from
My
LA.
God.
Yeah, so Marleah, listen, I really genuinely appreciate you. I appreciate everybody being on here. If you shared this out, thank you for that. If you didn't
I
share
did.
this
I
out,
hope it
not
worked.
you, I'm talking to
Oh.
everybody. I know you did. If you
Perfect.
did, if you're watching and you have not shared this out, shame on you. Redeem
Shame.
yourself. I'm kidding. Marleah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Hang tight for me. I'm going to end the live stream now. But
Thank you so
everybody
much for
watching,
having me.
oh
And
God,
thank you to everybody who listened and supported us today.
yeah.
Really appreciate it. This is my first podcast. So,
This is your very first?
yeah, I don't know if I should have said that or not, but yes,
No, it's fine. Hey,
it was so
listen,
much fun.
there are people watching that have their own podcasts, and they're probably going to want you on their shows. So
I would love to do it again. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so
good.
much. You're an
Good.
amazing man.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's just hang tight. Don't go anywhere. But everybody watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Go follow Marleah JoAnn on Instagram. Where else? Do you have a website?
So my website I'm redoing, but my link tree, it's
Linktree.
linktree/Marleah JoAnn.
Okay.
So a lot of people are using those now. So that's on my Instagram in my bio. It's linktree/Marleah JoAnn. And then it's Marleah JoAnn and it's JoAnn without an E.
Yep. Just like it's
On
spelled on the screen.
Spotify and YouTube. So Linktree, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It's all Marleah JoAnn.
That's awesome. Well, thank you all. Appreciate you all. Stay with me, Marleah. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. You guys have an awesome day, and we will see
Have
you
a great
all
day. Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Thank you so much.